From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Brayden Neville.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Ticats Today here on the Ticats Audio Network for this Monday, July the 17th, 2023. The Ticats returned to practice today following their 37-29 victory over the Edmonton Elks. The Ticats now go from playing the team with the worst record in the league to the team with the best record in the league, and that's the Toronto Argonauts. The Cats and Argos match up for the second time this season. The first was an Argos win, beating the Cats 32-14 in Toronto. The Ticats have gone on a bit of a winning streak since beating Ottawa and Edmonton, and will look to make it 3 in a row against the division rival Toronto Argonauts Friday night at home. On today's show, we will have Coach O, Ted Laurent, Taylor Powell, and Ticats kicker Marc Liegghio. But first, as always, we will get to some news around the team. Taylor Powell has been announced as the starter for the game Friday night, as Matthew Shiltz has been placed on the 6th game injured list to add to the list of injured QBs, not only on the Ticats, but it seems like it's been an issue league-wide. We saw it in Ottawa with Jeremiah Masoli and Tyree Adams, and the Rough Riders also suffered the loss of their number one guy, Trevor Harris. So it seems like it's been an issue for a lot of teams, but we're also seeing the emergence of some of these young quarterbacks coming up from the third string or the second string to make a mark in this league. Powell was good in his small sample size against the Elks, going 2 for 4 for 46 yards and throwing a touchdown on his very first passing play of the game to Tim White in the end zone. Powell will sort of get thrown into the deep end, if you will, on this one, but I think he's more than capable of handling the moment, and it'll be interesting to see him get the start. Coach O spoke about Powell and more following today's practice.
Your assignment, less missed assignments, not just the tangible plays or things that show up in the stat sheet. So you're looking for those little things, and then collectively you'll ultimately be better. No, I can remember having conversations like this where the backups played predominantly a lot. I couldn't tell you what year. This seems to be a lot, though. I don't know where it numbers. I don't have that, but it's disappointing, but it's also exciting for the next starters. The only way to really find out if you have anything is for them to get in, and if you have a solidified starter, then most of the time the backups don't see any time other than a little bit in practice, maybe on some scout team things. So it's exciting for them, but it's the toughest position to play, and it's a tough space for all teams. But for us specifically, Taylor is a guy that I could talk for probably 5 minutes, but I'll just say this: it doesn't seem too big for him. It never has since he's walked in. He's a very confident guy, not cocky. He prepares. He's a sponge. He wants to be better, but he doesn't pretend to know it all. He's perfectly fine. Like, he's early in the building. He's a pro, but I think it's authentic. It's not that he knows it. I don't think he's making it. It's just I see his big truck pull up. I look out my window, and he's first 5 guys in the building. And this is when he wasn't starting. This is when he was just backing up, and when he just got here. I think he's a natural leader. He commands the huddle. He's competitive. We'll see. When the lights are on and there's a book on you, it's always different, right? When you come in and spot play, you usually catch people off guard. Teams that we play will be ready, and then we're going to have to counter that.
That was Coach O. Now, Taylor Powell also met with media today, and he made it clear that no moment is too big for the young quarterback. Your first career CFL pass, and you threw a touchdown. Just talk me through that first little bit of action you got there in that game last week.
Well, it's just a sad part of the nature of kind of the quarterback business is when you're a backup, the only way you go in is, somebody goes down. And I am very fortunate to have a QB room that I think is special with Bo and Matt, who I've been able to learn from and, basically become some of my best friends. They're both warriors, and Matt was fighting his butt off during that game and just, took an unfortunate blow. But I was ready, been ready. I'm just grateful for the opportunity. I love football. And, it's just I knew what coverage they were in, and Tim made a great play on the ball.
And now this Friday, you're making your first career start in the CFL. What are your emotions going through your head right now, knowing you're going to be making that first start?
Well, it doesn't really feel I'm sure I'll have some emotions before the game or something, but it doesn't really feel like a first start, It's kind of different in college football where you don't have preseason games and you don't, this is like week 8, so it's like I'm ready to play and I've played and, I'm excited, so.
Yeah, do you feel comfortable, though, now that you've been around the team just as long as any of the other quarterbacks? Do you feel comfortable in this game? Yeah,
I mean, I've been in a lot of locker rooms, and this is probably one of the tightest ones I've had. And I got a great group, like I said, quarterbacks. And Coach Tommy is, probably, if not one of the best coaches I've ever had. And he's really accelerated my growth. And I'm nowhere where I want to be, but, if I keep having him and the amount he's poured into me, I'm just super grateful to have him too. It's pretty sweet to have. We were actually talking about the other day. I was like, Tommy, you've had like 4 or 5 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. He's kind of got the Mount Rushmore of CFL guys, and it's kind of cool to kind of just listen to the stories and see the cut-ups and stuff. And I always ask Bo and just about input and trying to find out ways to simplify the game and find out kind of how to keep playing up here. So. Yeah, it's kind of different. After the bowl game, I had 2 weeks off, right? And then I got right into draft prep and did all that, did the pro day, then, got a chance with Carolina, got cut there. And then kind of just next day, I was on a flight up to here. And it's been emotional. It's been a roller coaster to get up here, and I'm super grateful. But I wanted to be in this league. I wanted to play up here, because I feel like it suits me. It's real fun to play in. And then, I got here day 6 of camp. Just kind of got thrown into the fire and was figuring it out. And that's going back to having Bo and Matt and Coach Tommy and Coach O, and then, the whole offense. It's just been really nice. So I'm excited to play. Obviously, they've got a great thing going on over there. Really physical, great DBs, super disciplined, well coached. It's a great test, but for me, my first start was against Georgia in college football, right? Going against the Grey Cup champions, and they're undefeated, and what else do you want as a competitor? So I'm ready to roll. There's this great quote from one of my favorite authors named Ryan Holiday, and he says, "You don't ever have confidence; you generate evidence." And I feel like sometimes confidence is kind of a fake thing, especially in this business, right? If you're a good quarterback, you got to believe that, and you got to know that, and that comes from, I think, your values, and that comes from my faith, right? And I'm a very faith-oriented person. I'm actually about to, go to Bible study here soon, and man, there's so much bigger things in football. I don't really understand why people sweat this stuff. We get to go play a game for a living, so let's just go have some fun with it, and put on for this great town. I love this town. They've accepted me and been great to me in the community, and I just love it here. So.
That was Taylor Powell, and if some of those answers don't make you think that he's ready, then I don't know what will. Ted Laurent also spoke to media today. The vet has been around these rivalry games a long time between the Argonauts and the Ticats. He mentioned playing these games keeps him young. Rivalry game coming up on Friday. You've been a part of it a long time. What's to be said about this Argos-Hamilton rivalry?
Yes, it's a big week. We don't like them. They don't like us. I'm pretty sure they fired up, and we fired up as well. So it's going to be it's a huge game, and we're preparing like it.
Now the team's won 2 straight games. Do you feel there's a little more momentum here, a little more confidence, maybe heading into this game?
Yeah, I mean we always had confidence. It's just the result didn't come our way, but we always go to work, put our head down, and keep doing what we've been doing. It's just finally stuff is clicking our way. So we're not gonna stop. We're gonna go to work, practice, get better, and the result gonna come. Yeah, they're pretty good. They got 2 good running back in AJ Ouellette, I believe, and Andrew Ayers, the veteran. So they're pretty strong back. It's gonna take more than one guy to wrap him, to take him down. But the O-line's pretty good too. They're good overall. They're good every phase on offense, from receivers to the O-line to the coach to the running back. They're well coached, and they got the personnel. So it's not gonna be an easy task, but we'll be prepared for it. He's not making any mistakes. He's doing. I think he's doing what he's been told. He's been coaching the right way, and he's not making any mistakes. Not throwing interceptions. He's not really playing like a rookie right now. He's acting like a veteran right now, and it's gonna be a difficult task, but we should be able to handle it. Oh, I mean, it felt good. Guys call me OGs up here. Like, they look up to me. So, Simone is more of the vocal leader. I'm more like lead by example. So, like, I come to work. I practice. I work hard, and guys just follow. And when it was time to make my play, and I did. That's all it was. I was right there at the right time. I didn't give up, and I ran to the ball, and that's what happened. Simone made his play. Ran his perfect drop. He ran to the ball as well, and tip overthrows. So that's all it was. Oh, every little thing is keeping me young, man. This game of football, man. It keep you young, man. And I always enjoy that when I come to work in the morning and I see guys, coming to work and we're laughing, enjoying ourselves. It's real good. So like I said, it's anything I haven't seen. I've seen it all, but it's always good to see my brothers in the workroom and just put a smile on my face.
That was Ted Laurent. Now, the final player I spoke to has been consistent since arriving to the team last month, and that's kicker Marc Liegghio. Let's make things clear here. He may have the best name in perhaps kicker history. I mean, Liegghio pretty much writes itself, but he also backs up that name with his play and has yet to miss a field goal since joining the team. Knock on wood on that one. I spoke to him about the hot start and what Marc likes to do off the field as well as on the field when we sat down today. All right, so I'm joined now by Marc Liegghio, kicker for the Hamilton Ticats, and maybe one of the newer members of the team. Marc, how have you been adjusting to the city of Hamilton and being a Ticat here in the last few weeks?
Oh, it's been awesome. From the moment I got here, it's been a smooth transition. I'm pretty familiar with Hamilton because I trained up here for a while now with Laurent and Darryl Wheeler and a lot of those other kickers, and so it's been a really smooth transition. And I'm loving it here, loving the team, and it's just been an awesome environment so far.
Now I want to get to how you became a pro football player, and being from Canada, it might not necessarily be the sport that a lot of Canadian kids grow up thinking they're going to be a professional in, but you're a professional football player. And how did that all start? How did the love for football begin?
So obviously growing up, I'm Italian, so I had to start with soccer because that's just the way it goes. Started with soccer, picked up hockey, then I actually got into rugby in high school, and I didn't start football until grade 10 in university because my buddy's dad just said he saw me kicking those extra points in rugby, and he's like, "Hey, come play football." I'm like, I don't know, I can't play football. I'm not the biggest guy, right? But he's like, no, come play, kick for us, play whatever position you want. I said, I love sports, so why not? I went out, played quarterback, kicked, played linebacker, receiver. I tried it all. Mm-hmm. And then eventually after high school, I got recruited to go to Western, and then I got drafted to the CFL after Western, and it's just been an awesome experience being a part of football and just fell in love with it after grade 10.
You've probably heard this a lot of times before, but you have the perfect name for a kicker. So I was thinking maybe that had something to do with it, but that makes more sense. Now, you chose to go to Western. What was the decision behind you going to school there?
I thought it was the best fit for me football-wise, right? I thought with the program that I wanted to do, and also just the way that the team was at the time, I thought it was just an awesome moment and timing for me to go there. And I know a couple of guys that went there from my high school, so I had obviously a lot of information on the school, and they said they loved it there, so it basically sold it for me as soon as I heard how good it was. And I'm glad that I went there, had a good 5 years there, and enjoyed every moment of it.
And at what point at school did the CFL start looking like an option to you? Were you thinking okay, I can make a career out of this?
I always wanted to play professional sports, no matter what sport it was, and I know football was pretty big in Canada with the CFL. I used to watch it, watch it growing up. So I knew it was something I wanted to do, and I'm just happy that I got a chance to be a part of it.
And now, when you're not playing football, what are you doing for fun? Are you playing video games? Are you watching Netflix? Or what are you doing for fun?
It's anything that's a good time, really. I got all my Italian buddies back home, so just chill out, have an espresso, enjoy the nice outside weather at a patio. But just probably friends and family, and just being around good people. Just always having that good environment around you. I'm pretty open. I like anything that's pretty much a good time.
And the Italian food, is that your favorite?
Oh, of course. A nice homemade pasta from Nonna, and maybe a nice little panini, but. Homemade meatballs, veal parmesan, all of it. And I know Hamilton's got a pretty big Italian community as well. Yeah. And now let's talk about you coming to Hamilton. What was the decision? How did that whole conversation start with you coming to play for the Ticats? Yeah, so I previously got released by Winnipeg, so I was kind of on just a wait to see which team would call next, and I got a call from Hamilton before the Toronto game, and that's basically how it happened. It was a pretty quick turnover, but it's kind of cool playing for Hamilton because it's close to home, and I watched them growing up, right? So it's just cool to kind of play for a team that you watch growing up, and now you're actually a part of it, right? And it's also a big bonus just being so close to home, so family and friends can always come to the game, and just being around family all the time is something different while playing.
Now, knock on wood here. You've made every field goal since you've joined the team. Consistency seems to be a big part of your game. What are you doing to train to stay consistent? And are you kicking every day? What are these drills you're going through? Because as a kicker, you're not maybe doing the same kind of stuff that say a linebacker is doing. So what are you doing for training?
So it's kind of like once the game's over, you kind of just, even if you do good or bad, you just kind of gotta move on to the next one, because next game you're 0-0, right? Mm-hmm. So I just keep up my training schedule, get my lifts in throughout the week, and just working on little things I need to from the last week. Like obviously field goals go in, but you can always hit a better ball, stuff like that. So I'm always working on consistent ball contact, consistent steps, and just getting the timing down with the holder and snapper and the operation time. So just basically taking it day by day, and just another day at the office, like they always say, right? And a big motto I have saying is go 1 for 1. If it's a field goal, kickoff, or punt, you just go out there, do your best each kick, and move on to the next one.
And now you're working with Jeff Reinbold on that special teams. Just what have you gotten to know about him and having him as a coach here, a legend around the league at the special teams?
Yeah, he's definitely a legend. I've always heard good things about him. He's one of the best at specials, and I'm just glad to be under his wing. I'm kind of picking his brain, learning as much as I can as a player from a coach, and he's just been awesome. He made the transition really smooth coming in, and he wants to do everything that's right, and whatever he wants me to do. I'm not shy to go away from what he wants to do, and he'll work on my skill set, and I'll go off what he wants to do. But it's just awesome having him as a coach, and it's been pretty awesome so far.
And now we'll move to this game coming up here on Friday, a rivalry game, Ticats Argos. It's an old rivalry. Just what does the team need to do here to get the win here against the Argos?
We just got to keep it rolling. We've had a good two wins in the column now. So I think we just got to have a good week of practice and get in the mindset and get settled in right now. And, it's a battle of QEW, which is pretty cool, too, to be a part of that rivalry. And, just, like I said, staying consistent and going 1 for 1 each day and bringing it on game day. And
then growing up, I guess, you probably experienced this rivalry or watched this rivalry as a kid growing up in the area. Just what does it mean now to be a part of this rivalry?
Yeah, that's it's pretty electric. It's whenever the game's on, the fans, they don't have to travel far to go to the game. So, it's seeing a section of black and a section of blue. It's basically 50-50 split. And especially being at our house this week, it's going to be pretty loud in there. It's going to be awesome to be a part of.
I'd like to thank Marc Liegghio, Ted Laurent, Taylor Powell, and Coach O for being on the show today. Ticats fans, make sure to get those tickets for Friday night's Battle of the QEW against the Argonauts. They always sell out quick. It's always a very hot ticket around the city, so make sure to get those Ticats tickets. Also, if you're coming to the game, make sure to take advantage of the $5 beer deal. That happens before kickoff to get yourself a little more revved up for the game, a little more jacked up, a little more excited. That's all the time for me today. I want to thank you for listening to Ticats Today.